In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Ja Morant and what makes him so amazing. He has a lot of things that he does in game that really does help him score a ton of points. And if you're looking to score just as many points as Ja Morant, you're going to want to watch this. Let's get down. Let's check him out. Okay, so first thing is first. In the fast break, he really attacks that rim hard. And this is a very big key on getting transition baskets. Here, he obviously gets a massive dunk. First is, of course, as soon as he gets to that free throw line extended, he cuts towards the basket. He makes eye contact with the player who has the ball. And because of that, that player with the ball is able to set up an alley-oop like this. But really quickly, how is he able to get up so high? When he plants his feet, it's all about footwork. I like footwork. When he plants his foot, he goes heel toe on that planted foot. Next foot that comes around is that left foot, and that left foot is well past his shoulders. This is going to give him that momentum that was originally going towards the basket and to push him up into the air. This foot cannot let the heel touch the ground. What he needs to do is to keep that foot with the toe on the ground, and then when he gets up into the air, he wants to try to lift his feet up so that now he's transferring the energy from his hamstrings up into his jump. This is a massive, massive portion on these NBA players and their ability to jump higher. And we see the same footwork once again, but now he's able to use his shoulders and his arms. See that arm swing that he just did right here? This is huge. Now, in the defensive side of things, he's able to get blocks even on some of the biggest players in the game, mainly because he's able to use that same technique, the penultimate step, plus now he's using that shoulder strength to get his body up into the air to get that big block. The penultimate step is absolutely massive. Remember, that is a huge, huge portion. Here he takes one long last step, that's the penultimate, with that last step around, getting that foot well on the other side of his shoulders, basically cocking that ball back and slamming it down. Now, again, look at his feet. This is a massive, massive, massive tip for anybody who can dunk and touch the rim. When you go up, kick your feet up. This is really going to give you a lot of power. Also, when you can do moves like this too, you don't have to be able to jump super high to do this. Even I can do this and I'm 270. You basically, on your last step, bring that ball above your head, bring it back around to the other hand, and then you can scoop it through. You just need to jump super far. You don't need to get the height that Ja Morant gets here. Obviously, he can jump high. That makes it easier to be able to do this fake, but because of his ability to be able to control his body in air, this is a lot of core strength. If you really want to be good, you need to have core strength, and that's going to allow you to make shots like this. Now, let's not forget about his handles. His handles are super, super impressive. If you want to be able to get your defender onto their heel or up into the air, handles are very, very key. So here he does a quick crossover hop. That little bit of a hop is very important. Having your feet pointed towards the direction that you're going to go is also key. However, here he does another quick hop. This hop again, feet pointed forward. As a defender, we should have in our peripheral vision to see the feet, because that's going to basically be a massive portion as to where that player is going to go. But you really want to focus on the course that your peripheral vision will be able to see the player's feet and their shoulders, so that, of course, you get to see the whole story on what that player is seeing, what that player is doing. Now, he does a quick jab in and out dribble that gets that player facing this way. Ja Morant really wants to be able to attack that top foot, especially on a taller, slower defender. And because of this, he's able to cross behind his back, takes a big step that moves that player back towards that basket. He then gathers. Remember, you are allowed to gather that ball after a dribble. Now he could either use either foot as a pivot. He looks at the rim, takes a quick shot fake, and then he's able to step through and finish with a nice layup. This is a very high level move. He gathers, he looks at the rim, he takes that shot fake, even fakes out the camera, steps through. This is an absolutely fantastic move, and you can do this too. Now remember, you don't need to do anything special to get to the rim. Of course, here he does a fancy layup that does end up dropping. But what does he do at first? What does he get to do when basically to break that defender? He does a quick jab cross. Jab in one direction, cross to the other. He takes 2 steps. They're very long steps, but on this last little bit, he's able to flip that ball up and around. That is a very high level move. I'm not saying that you're going to be able to do this on day one, but what I'm trying to show you right here is simple stuff to get to the rim. Jab, cross, get that player out of the way. That's what he did. And then he can take 2 steps towards the rim. You don't need anything special. Obviously, he finished special. I'm going to keep on saying that because people are going to say, I can't do that. Everybody can do a jab cross. It's really not that hard. You get low. You jab in that direction. Like if you're about to attack hard, either in that direction or a snatchback. But instead, you cross to the other side and then you attack that top foot of the defender. Very simple, but here he did have a complicated finish. So here we see another new way to start, but also how to use a screen. This is absolutely amazing. He did finish, again, very fancy. However, let's get down to the actual basics of this. So here he goes off the left foot and then does a quick hop and gets that negative step on his right foot. That's going to give him the explosive power to attack this side. That hop also forced that defender, in my opinion, out to essentially double team Ja Morant. And because that defender went out, and that main defender here looks like Gordon is not playing very strong, we see that Ja Morant is able to essentially split that screen and then attack his main defender that he had before. Obviously, he had a spin move. On the spin move, he was able to get his foot well away and well beyond the defender who was defending him. And that's why he was able to have a successful spin move. But let's get back to this main split. Anytime you have a screen and you have a strong defender who gives you space between yourself and that screen, you want to split between. Here he does a over the hand cross to be able to split between that screen, and then he just basically takes his man one-on-one, when in reality he could have had an open 3 here. But either way, it doesn't necessarily matter. He was able to finish. Let's not forget, high gathers are very important here too. He obviously finished with his left hand. But if you've got a player who is just slightly in front of you and you have an open lane on the other side, why try to beat him when you can just basically do a high snatch behind that defender? And that's what we see here. Instead of trying to beat that man off the dribble, he can then just do a quick high gather over top of that defender, and then by finishing on the opposite side, not on the right, but on the opposite side, he now uses his body as a defender against this guy, uses the mesh as a defender against this guy, which then basically allows him to have that open, simple, easy layup. I hope that this video helps you. If it has, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.